Welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary. We're doing a series of videos on sex signs, and we're now going to do episode 17. I've been talking about the clitoris as the sign, the sex sign, the sex symbol of clitoral thinking. In other words, we can do clitoral thinking. We can use the clitoris as a sign which points to all kinds of other signs. That's a type of thinking. But we need also to do critical thinking, using our minds to its fullest, and then we also need to do clinical thinking where it is appropriate. So the clitoris is inside of a womb. The womb is inside of a garden setting. The Garden of Eden is where we took our origination. Now I've got a picture here of a African woman, and this is a sign of African Eve, as they call her, or mitochondrial Eve, because they use the mitochondria to trace all of us humans back to a common mother. It's very, very scientific. There was a common mother, one woman who had some kind of a gene change happen, and that was us. She was us, the mother of our species. In the myths, she's called Pandora, the first woman who was all gifted. She had all the gifts in herself, not in that box. All the gifts of our species were in her. So African Eve, mitochondrial Eve, or Eden Eve was our common mother. It's important to remember, though, that there's something even prior to that, and that was African lover. Before a mother is a mother, she is a lover. So that's why it goes back to love and the lover in a garden setting. That is called clitoral thinking. Clitoral thinking. Now the clitoris is connected by sign language with some other important concepts. One concept is masturbation. Masturbation has got a bad reputation in some circles, but it's a very honorable word. It just means that the clitoris or the penis is lovingly massaged or touched to produce pleasure. Now, what could be wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that, except in the patriarchal mindset, because that can't be controlled. If a woman or women or men are getting their pleasure from masturbation, where's the money to be made? Where's the power to be exercised? Where's the status to be achieved in that? Because it's too free for a patriarchal man, and there are also patriarchal women. So the clitoris or the penis, oh, by the way, man has a clitoris inside his penis, so we can say the clitoris can masturbate itself. Mass means taking a mass of body, tissue, whatever, mass, and turning it on, turban, like a turban, and then it abates. So there's a resting state, climax, ejaculation, orgasm, and then go back to the resting state. It's a natural process. The clitoris can do it by itself, or the penis, clitoris, like wet dreams. It just happens. Or it can be masturbated by the hand. So the hand is a sexual sign. And the penis, when it's in the vagina, is masturbated by the vagina. It's mutual masturbation. And the vagina also is masturbated by the penis. So the word masturbation is a very honorable, sacred word. we need to decondition ourselves from patriarchal fear, guilt, anxiety, power, all that stuff, and reintroduce the word, the honorable nature of it. The masturbation, by the way, has a link to the Mass in Catholicism. Now, I know that area real well because I was a Catholic priest up until age 30. Back in 1970, I left the priesthood and the monkhood, so I know that scene pretty well. I said many Masses myself, but I never realized the connection between the Mass, celebrating Mass, and masturbation. But now, at 73, I can see the connection. And intelligence is to be able to make connections. A young child, when it's exercising its intelligence, it connects the dots. Oh, look, Mommy, I connected the dots, and it turned out to be a star or an animal. Oh, that's intelligence, to be able to connect dots. And we get to be adults, we still have to connect dots. And if we don't connect the dots, we're not going to see the picture. See a bunch of dots. It's only by the connection that we exercise our intelligence. So we do clitoral thinking, because that's the main sexual sign within the woman. Clinical thinking, and then clinical thinking when it's necessary. Sexual signs are with us. Sometimes they make us uncomfortable because sex is so powerful. And it can be so dangerous and get us in trouble, can lead us into corruption. The secondary sexual signs or characteristics are other things like the breasts. The breasts are sexual signs. When our species appeared 100,000 years ago, the women of the culture had developed breasts. Nature didn't have to do that just to give milk. Other animals don't have those developed breasts. Why would nature do that? What if not for beauty, for sexual attractiveness, for enjoyment, for pleasure? That's a feature of women that men don't have. The beauty of the breasts. And then, of course, there's the utility of them for nursing the baby. So a baby that's brought up properly in love gets great joy from those breasts and from the drinking of the milk. Sometimes I saw a picture once of a baby who was nursing. The breast was there, and then the milk was dripping out of the baby's mouth. And the baby, I never forgot that picture because the baby was so radiant with joy. It was a sex sign par excellence. Sex sign. So that is breasts for beauty. And the woman's body is extremely beautiful. Now that doesn't mean that it's to be used or abused, but it can, and the male body also, the human body is very attractive, very beautiful, but in that beauty there's a vulnerability if power is applied or coercion. But the beauty should be along with freedom to enjoy things without being intruded upon, unless you want that, and then you ask for it. Another thing about women is they have no facial hair. I have facial hair. Now, how did that happen? Why do women not have facial hair? We appeared that way. Why? Well, what I think is, again, it's a beauty characteristic. It's an aesthetic thing. Not to have hair on your face, in one way, is beautiful. So much so that many men today shave the hair off their faces. Why? Well, I don't know, a lot of reasons I suppose, but one of them is beauty. It's more beautiful and it's more sexual. Because when you kiss or you touch or you rub face upon face, I don't think rubbing a big grizzly old beard is that aesthetically pleasing. Maybe some people, there's always exceptions to the rule. And when a mother caresses her baby, kisses her baby, it wouldn't be so pleasurable for the baby to have a big grizzly beard on the mother. It's ridiculous. We laugh about it. I think it's so stupid, but it has a pleasure, it has a sexual, the lack of hair on a woman is a sexual sign of something. And when we grasp that sign, we begin to put it into the big picture, we begin to see what's going on in nature. These signs all put together, produce a understanding. Now, contrary-wise, why does a man have greater upper body strength? Why is his body bigger? That has a reason too. And a lot of it goes back to what the man was doing, hunting animals. The great myth, if you want to discount myths, the great hunter myth is really a misplaced thing. Now true, men became hunters, but to make that great hunter myth into something, it's like a sacred cow. It's over the top, out of place, misplaced. Most of the food, even in a hunter society, very often was gathered by the women. Women also have a higher pitched voice, which is more pleasing in certain ways, maybe to the child, more musical, something about it. There was some reason beyond the anatomical condition of the woman's vocal cords. If you look into sex as love, as aesthetics, as joy, when people got married, the traditional cultures used to say, God give you joy. That means, that's a reference to sex. May God or love be with you in your lovemaking. Men's blood count, as I said, is higher than women's. What is the reason for that? Probably because of hunting, killing, eating meat, and meat-soaked blood. Well, what other reason is there? We are intuitive, reasonable, make the connections, draw the conclusions, and then apply them to our life. What else can we do to demonstrate our love? Something beyond words, although words are important, because they actually are also actions. But words without actions are pretty empty. Thank you again for being with us on this episode number 17. We're on a journey. We're going home to be true lovers, and then we will be home. So we sign off with a love sign, and this is a love sign. So love, and always love. Thank you.